Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys watching today's video. And guys, today we're going to be talking about the difference between a shad pattern crankbait and a crawdad pattern crankbait when you're fishing in cold water. This time of year in the winter time, really from like November to March, as far as how you choose between the two of them, because both of them can be really good. So we're going to talk about that in today's video. Now, first of all, guys, the colors on crankbaits have a lot to do with, as far as the colors that they bite the best, it has a lot to do with a lot of different variables. To me, it has a lot to do with the water clarity, the water tint, the water temperature, the cover that you're fishing, all that type of stuff combines. But what I want to try to do in this video is I want to try to give you guys sort of a basic foundation as far as how to choose which color in the colder months. And when I'm talking about colder months is when the water temperature is in the 40s and 50 degrees. So here's how I decide on it when, in my own, personal opinion on fishing. When the water temperature starts to get down into the 50s and the 40s in the early time of the winter, for whatever reason, I catch more fish on a shad pattern. It's like it's not until the water temperature starts getting at its lowest point and start coming up again later in the winter to when the crawfish pattern works better for me. Now, I'm not really I'm not really sure what that situation is. That is one aspect of it. There's a couple more we'll talk about, but it seems like in early winter and up until the middle of the winter, crawdad, and from the middle of the winter until late winter, the shad, and then the crawdad in the middle of winter to the late winter. That's one aspect, and there can be a lot of different water clarity variations, but the other thing is the specific water clarity in the lake that you're fishing. Now, traditionally what happens in the wintertime, you'll have some of the clearest water of the year. And also the tint of the water color is a little bit different because in the wintertime, you don't have as much nutrients floating around in the lake, that the algae and the plankton are not as prevalent. So the water clarity and tint is different than it is in the summertime. It's almost like it's a little bit bluer. You don't have the greenish tint a lot of times like you do in other parts of the year. And for whatever reason, when that water's cleaner and you've got less plankton and algae in the water, a shad pattern will work better in those situations there. Now, obviously this depends on the part of the lake that you're in or the lake you're in, but most of the time I'll give you a range. If I have water clarities of like, say, 3 foot or greater, I'm usually using a shad pattern crankbait. Now, on the other hand, if you have a little bit more off-colored water, say the water visibility is 2 to 3 foot in that zone, and if you have a little bit lower light levels, say you've got 2 to 3 foot visibility of water clarity, and then you've got some clouds or some wind, or it's early in the morning or late in the evening, you'll find out the crawdad works a little bit better in those situations there. So it's sort of like, a lot of different things working, a lot of different ins and outs to it. Ultimately, you just have to experiment. You just have to try both to see which one is going to work the best. And a lot of times I'll have both. I'll have, a crawdad pattern and I'll have a shad pattern on, maybe mix it up, rotate a little bit. But in general, guys, crawdad's going to work a little bit better, later in the winter, a little bit more off-colored water, a little bit lower light levels, and the shad pattern is going to work better, a little bit cleaner, brighter conditions. If it's sunny or partly cloudy, you'll get some bites on the shad pattern, but that's usually how I judge it there. So anyway, guys, hope that helps out with you guys a little bit. It's like anything else with bass fishing. Bass don't read books, bass don't watch YouTube videos. You just have to experiment and try a little bit out there. Don't ever be scared to experiment and try something you've never even tried before, or you've never even heard anyone try before, because that's how new techniques are developed a lot of times. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.